box pops up, click the word "got it," and it should leave. And then I'm going to mute everybody, and we'll get right down to it. Okay, so we start in our seated meditation posture. So you're sitting on a chair. You want to sit at the front edge of the chair. The purpose of that, of course, is, again, when we sit way back on the chair, that sort of engenders us to slouch our pelvis back and our spine. We lose our zhong or our central upright. So scoot forward to the front edge so that the only thing really on your chair, more or less, is the buttock bones, those sit bones. And this allows us to feel a little more freedom. Also in your chair, you would want your chair higher up than your knees, right? So above the knees with the hips is good. That allows, again, this freedom, this looseness in the quad, or the groin, hip space in here. So these are some technical terms that are important in Tai Chi. Zhong, central upright. The quality of your central upright is one that you don't want to be holding on to for dear life with muscle tension in the shoulders and in the stomach. You want to align it so the crown of your head is above the floor of the pelvis, and that's this line down through your middle, and then you just relax. You release tension out of the body. Another technical term, Chun One is this quality of soft, sunken into stability. So think of like a glass of water with sediment in it, and as you let the glass just be, the sediment naturally settles down and settles to the bottom. And we want to allow that feeling of getting the tension and grip, and especially when dealing with Parkinson's, it's not just in the physical muscle and tissue, it's also in the nervous system. This idea of letting your nervous system open up and settle and relax. So let's just do this movement a couple of times to assist with that. So we take the arms out, up over the top, and then very slowly just let the settling quality happen. So we keep our feeling of upright and sturdy, but yet there's this down, 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 and through. Arms out to the side. Let's do that a couple of times. You could inhale here, up over the top, this gathering gesture, settling down, all the way down through the tissue, down through the chair, through your legs, through to the earth. One more time. Up over. Settling. And on this one, just let your hands come to settle and rest on your lap or on your legs, somewhere comfortable. Now let's just breathe here. Let's say 12, 15 breath cycles in through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. Mind clearing of any activity, thoughts of other people, places, distractions, fantasies, concerns. So let the mind space clear. Just take our 2-part breath and turn it into 4-part breath. On your next inhale, fill up, hold the breath. Just hold it. And then softly open the valves and let the breath seep out of the system all the way out, 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 out. And then hold the breath empty for longer than you normally would. Don't inhale right away. And then open the valves and let that breath be drawn in. Holding the breath. Let it smoothly out. Once you're empty, hold the breath empty longer than you normally would. Inhale. So that for about four more breaths, 4-part breathing. Now, hands onto your thighs. Slide the hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades squeeze together, lift the chest and chin up, arching the back. Then do the opposite. Slide the hands forward, hollow the chest back as you straighten your arms and drop your head. So now you're rounding your back. Then slide the hands back, elbows back, lift the chest, open the front. And slide the hands forward, rounding, dropping the head. 3 more. We have 24 vertebrae in the spine. We're gently moving each of them. We're tipping and tilting on the pelvis, moving shoulder blades, moving arms, opening and closing the spaces in the torso, in the shoulders, chest. Moving the head and neck as well. Just loosening up these relationships between the joints and tissue. And come back to the middle. Now, left hand forward past the knee, arm straight, right hand and elbow back, and then turn the chest and head to the right. Nice little gentle twist to the right. And then switch. Right hand forward, left hand and elbow back, turn. And then switch. Turn. Switch again. Turn. And a couple more. Just rotating. Gently wringing out the rag. One more each way. Back to middle. And the third direction of movement, basic direction, lateral. Arms hang by your side, lean to the right, almost like you're falling out of your chair, but don't. And that left wrist float it up as you reach your right hand down like you're trying to touch the floor. And then back through middle over to the other side. Lean. Lift your right wrist as you tip to your left. And then switch. Changing from one buttock to the other. So when you have the empty buttock, that foot might even just float off the ground a little bit. And then you change. And that foot might float off. And we're cultivating our middle. We're really feeling how we're completely over this side, but our middle is intact. And then completely over to this side. Middle intact. And one more to your left. Back to middle. Now, shoulders. When I say the word shoulders, people often think of this place where the arm plugs into the socket, but we should think this, the shoulder blade on your back. So shrug your shoulders up. It's actually those shoulder blades sliding up. They bring the arm along for the ride, but the arms are loose and relaxed. Okay, and then melt shoulder blades down. Let them hang. A lot of times this is where we're holding on to tension and therefore making ourselves top heavy and easy to fall over. Shrug up both shoulders. Just roll my sleeves up here. So go ahead and shrug your shoulders all the way up. Feel that sort of squishing to the shoulder tissue. And then melt all the way down, sliding down, loose as can be. Two more. Shrug up. And melt. One more. Shrug up. And melt. Now, to do these shoulder circles, the shoulder blades, again, are the prime movers. So they have to be able to squeeze together, which is called retraction, and then neutral. And then they also got to separate from each other, called protraction. So let's just do that movement a couple of times. Retract, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Release them to neutral, so they're just hanging out. And then spread your shoulder blades apart. It'll cause your chest to have to hollow a little bit. And you'll feel a nice stretching quality in your middle and upper back. One more of those. Retraction. Neutral. Protraction. Now, from this protracted position, lift up. Stay lifted as you go back and squish all the muscles in the back. Stay back as you slide the shoulder blades down and back to neutral. Again, protract, hollowing chest, shoulder blades spread apart. Lift up the shoulders, up, not back. Marjan, up. So you were here and then you went straight to back. Look at the up. Yes. And then back with the shoulder blades and then down. Shoulder blades forward. They stay forward as they go up. They stay up as they go over the top and back. They stay back as they slide down and come under. One more. Forward and up. Back and down. Now let's reverse. Go back first. Stay back as you go up. Stay up as you come forward. Stay forward as you go down. Back and up. Forward and down. Back, up. Forward, down. Loosening up this usual suspect for what's causing a lot of our stiffness, our top heaviness, our imbalance, pain, headaches, all kinds of negative impact happens when this space of the shoulders and upper back are glued and stuck. All right, now, arms loose and hanging. Let them swing a little bit forward, but notice the hands stay low. Notice how my hands are still at the height of my knees. Swing back, a little behind you. forward. But notice I didn't come above my knees. Back. So be able to track that nuance to the movement. We're going forward, but not up. Now stay here, stay low and go out, around, and behind, in close to the body, and then swing them forward again, but stay down low. Open around the outside, come back in, swing. Around. When the hands come forward, add. Turn the arms so the thumbs are down, pinkies are up. So that's internal rotation. And then as you go around, palms face forward, that's external rotation. Then come in close, swing forward, thumbs pointing down, go around the circle, in, and again. Now this time, do come up a little bit, about halfway. Then go straight out to the side, slightly behind you, turn your palms forward, slide down the back, and then swing them forward and up again. By the time they get there, internally rotated, out, down the back side. Internally rotate, come forward, open, down the back. That was level 2. Let's go level 3. We go up and keep rising to whatever degree you can as you go over the top and down the back. So it's kind of a complete circle. Internally rotate, rising, bring the backs of the hands close to each other. And then open all those spaces. 2 more. Backs of hands close, arms reaching straight, and they come up over the top, down the back side. 1 more. Internally rotate, reaching forward. Stay long through the fingertips. And let's go the other way. So start back at level 1. Arms come back a little. They go around the outside to the front, but they're staying down by the level of the knees. Swing back a little behind you. Stay low as you come around to the front. Swing back. Around. Swing. And around. Swing. Level 2. Come up the back side a little bit, halfway. Palms flat to the floor, and then turn thumbs down a little as you swing. And when you're coming back, turn the arms so the palms face forward. Raise. Come across over the top. Turn internally. Fall down alongside of the body. Up. And level 3. That means you're coming up, keep coming up, over the top, and backs of hands face each other as they come down. This opens the spaces in the torso, and then we're closing the front, opening the back. And then this opens the front, and then closing the front, opening the back. Let's do 1 more. And release. Bend your elbows. Bring your hands up close here. And just hands are relaxed. Elbows are bent. So now elbows go out, up, just as high as you can. And feel you want to feel looseness. You want to feel light. You want to feel free and easy rather than muscles having to tense to get you up here. Loose. And then just softly down. Elbows around in front. Try to touch the elbows together. Squeeze them together a little bit. And then down. Out. Up. And down. Round in front. Squeeze. Down. 1 more. opening pathways, allowing them to move with more sliding, gliding, rather than muscle gripping and holding. Now, elbows straight behind you. Open the front, squeeze all that musculature in the back. Then elbows down, elbows point forward and possibly up. Get those elbows up there. And then elbows forward, down, back. Down, forward, up, forward, down, and back. Down, forward, up, and elbows down. Now elbows out, palms face the floor, one hand above, one below. The below hand goes under the armpit. Hug your own torso. Now hug and hold. Try to crawl the fingers around. Give yourself a nice squeeze. And then release the grip and just kind of like a liquid buoyancy floating out. Other arm above, other below. Hug. And release. All the way out. All the way down. And then 90-degree angle at elbow joint. Turn the palm down, up. Feel the two bones in your forearms just sliding, floating through that movement. So there's no tension in the way, it's just easy. And palms stay facing up, open. Now notice how I create this shape. The elbows are very close to the body, so the movement has to happen kind of like a door hinge from inside the shoulder. So that's that moving part. Hands come back to neutral. Again, that's moving from here. Now, elbows go out, around, and forward. Again, same idea. It's moving from this space. And if you get it all the way around, it should induce this hollowing, rounding shape in the torso. Elbows come into your body. Hands go out. That should create the opposite, a sort of lifting buoyancy through the torso. Then elbows out and around. Internal rotation at the shoulder, right? That's what we're creating here. And external rotation. Internal. External. Now stay here, open. Left hand comes up, reach across, and let the body turn that way a little bit. And then reverse, come back to this open shape. Now let's do this one with slightly wider stance. So step your feet wider apart than normal. Turning. And back up. Turning. And back up. We're just getting these gears, wheels, pivots, pathways to open. Because again, the body over time, when we don't use it in very novel, interesting, thorough ways, it just gets glue-like, it gets stuck, the fascia gets knotted up. And so we're just looking to keep that rust and stagnation at bay. Last one. And then from this middle position, both hands up, cross wrist, turn palms down, and then let them fall down through the space and separate. So then we should have a little of this hollowed, folded shape. Then cross, lift up, open, and they slide down to the side. Up over the top, cross, down, release, open. One more of each, cross. Lighter, looser, smoother with every round. And legs back to neutral, arms to neutral, wrist circles, fold the wrists over, circle under, turn over, under. Reverse. And shake them out. Now scoot a little bit back in your chair so that you're nice and stable there. Load up right leg. So you lift the right knee up and draw the right heel somewhat in towards the buttock. Then push that leg away. Then redraw it up and then set it down. Switch. Load up or chamber. Push. Chamber. Down. Chamber and push. Chamber down. One more of each. Now extend the right leg and hold it there. Point your right foot, flex your right foot. Point, flex, point, flex. Then invert, which is the tilt of the foot in, evert, tilt the foot out. Invert, evert, invert, evert. And then circles, in, around, and out. Reverse, out, around, and in. And down, other foot, point, flex. Invert, evert, just a little tilt. Circle. Reverse. And down. Scoot forward. We'll do our simple leg swivel. So step the feet a little wider than hip distance. Now lift the toes up, turn on the heels, knees in, toes in, internally rotating at the hips, the groin, the quad, and then lift the toes and turn out. External rotation. Internal rotation, external. The pelvis is quiet, the pelvis is still, the spine is just resting in that zhong-zheng quality, and the freedom of the legs. Freedom, loose, open quad. That's what you want over time. Now, back to neutral. Now the heels come in, the knees open out. Then the heels go out, the knees fall slightly in. Heels in, knees out. Heels out, knees in. Movement is happening in the hip sockets, in the quad. Back to neutral. Hands on thighs. Fold at the hips. Bowing forward. Sit back upright. Lean back a little bit. Sit upright. Folding, so you're just hinging at the hip crease. Now, add to this. As you fold, slide your hands down. Let your back round and open. And then sit back up. and lift the chest up, look up, keep looking up as you fold. Slide the hands down, rounding, and then sitting back up. Just loosening the grip on the back muscle, spinal column. Now, sitting upright, shogun, settling hands to the middle. The middle being navel, belly button, deep to the belly button, straight in towards the low back, right in between low back and belly button. That's where they say our middle reservoir is. Now let your arms hang down, slide your feet back a little, and we're standing up. So you're going to pour your weight down through your legs to the earth, and then you just push through the legs and stand up tall, but stay light, stay loose. Sit down, butt goes back, folding at the hips, sinking down, finding the chair with your butt, and then sitting upright. Let's do that again. Folding, standing, and then sitting. One more. Now, don't sit in your chair, but butt goes back, sink as if you're going to sit in your chair, but use this as a way to get your fingers to the floor, close to the floor, and then stand back up, all the way up. So again, we're sitting the butt quite a bit, down and back. Hands getting close to the floor. You could pick up a pen or your glasses if you dropped them, and then push through the earth, rise back to standing. One more. And all the way back to standing. Now just stay where you are. Take notice of the fact that your feet have more foot in front of your ankle than behind. So that means you can tip a little bit forward into your toes. And then come back so you're in the middle between heels and toes. And then notice you can get back to your heels, but you don't lean nearly as much. It's really just kind of moving from the middle back so that you're more in the heels, less in the toes, and then find the middle, and then into the toes, middle, and a little bit back to the heels. So this is a very important balance training. A lot of times when people stand up, they're grabbing onto their bodies for dear life, right? Because it's a little scary to stand up, and I think especially so with the Parkinson's issues, right? It just kind of, it gets scary up there. So this is kind of a relaxing thing to do. Release all tension from the body, and notice you can just tilt and lean. And the reason you don't fall over is because there's a middle, that middle place I was just describing. That middle retains its stability, right? Whether we're tilting a little forward, a little back. And so again, you're just playing at your edges, trying to stay safe with it, but trying to loosen up that grip. All right, now we're going to go into our Tai Chi. So we're standing. First thing, arms are loose. Remember, this space in here is where the arm moves from rather than, let's say, the socket. So it's really the shoulder blade, arm, and the space around which it moves, which is the main pivot for our arms. So now rising hands, like you're painting the wall in front of you with the back of your hands, rising hands. And then just a little sink of the elbows, the palms switch, so that now it's the fingertips that are painting that wall all the way down. And again, from that little fulcrum point, let the arms swing back a little. And then painting. It's called rising hands. And they change slightly, and then let's see. Again, rising. Same. Loose as can be, using only hydraulics, liquid, floating, buoyancy. Back down. Let's do one more of those. Rising. Sinking. Now, as they sink, go into low cradle, this little scoop right in front. Now, open, crane, opens wings. A little sink of shoulders, elbows, wrists, the hands change slightly, come down and scoop right in front. And then open, as if painting the side walls with the backs of the hands. And then that little change of the joint relationships on the way down. That looks great, everybody. Really nice. Again, soft and loose. Just extending out through the nervous system, kind of a washing of the nervous system when the muscles are relaxed while moving. One more. Now we'll do what's called embrace the moon. Wings. Turn your right palm up. Left palm stays facing down. Now, as the right hand comes over the top, left hand comes under. You've got one low, one high. Now, like two magnets attracting towards each other. And then they go away from each other back to the top and bottom. They go around out to the wings again. And then turn left palm up and it comes over the top. Right hand comes under. And then towards each other. Away from each other. One way to think of what we're doing is networking, network connecting, like our internet. The brain through the nervous system to the body. We're moving slow, smooth. We're paying attention to every little micro movement. And we're increasing the brain's ability to connect. We're helping the nervous system find clear connection, clear internet. Now, pause here, hands come down. Now, this one will help us with that chun one, that sinking sediment. So rise, hands coming up, turn them over, and then not like you're pushing down, but rather sinking down. Sink down through the whole body, through the legs, through the feet, and then turn the hands to that scoop. Rise, turn it over, and that quality of settling the sediment. And the third bit to that, so we said Zhongjung is central upright. So we've got our central upright. We're practicing here, especially Chun one, or soft, sunken, stable. And then what they say is that what's left as we clear out the sediment and density from the tissue and the nervous system is they call it Qing Ling, which is light, nimble, free, easy to move. So as you practice more and more, that's what the result ends up being, is a lighter, easier, freer movement. Now, from here, stay up top, turn your palms to face forward, push all the way to the tips of the fingers. Now, extend your arms as far forward as they can go, but don't let that pull your body out of balance. In fact, do the opposite. Kind of sink in right where you are as you get that nice long extension. Then stay long as you wrap the hands around the back side and draw. in. When you come in, let the elbows go behind you a little, let this space open. Turn the palms, push. So same idea, you're pushing, but you're actually settling further and more completely into right where you are. Right, so you're sinking right where you are, but you're still exerting force forward. And then hands wrap around and draw in. Let's do that a couple more times. Push. Stay long as you come around and then draw. One more. Push. Come around, draw. Now, left hand turn to push. Push just the left hand. This will induce a small rotation in the body. Now, left hand turns to face body. Turn your right hand to face away. And now we do one draw, one push. Turn that hand, turn the other hand. One draw, one push. Simultaneous turning of hands. One draw, one push, called repel the monkey. Draw, one push. One draw, one push. Last one. Both hands back, both hands down. Relax the arms. Change your weight to the right leg. Turn your belly button slightly right. Left leg is somewhat empty. Change the weight to the left leg. Turn the belly slightly left. Change the right leg. Turn to the right. Sweep the hands across. Change left leg. Turn. Sweep the hands across. The bear washing paws in the stream. Shift, turn, sweep hand. Change the weight, sweep the hands. Now get a little bit precise with the hands so that now as you're going to shift to the right leg, right hand is turned to brush knee, left hand turned to sweep leg. So it's brush, sweep, and then let them finish their movement by turning and changing position. So now it's brush, sweep, brush and sweep, brush and sweep. Let them get looser so that now that brush hand starts to travel around in a bit of a floating circle. That becomes the bear swirls the stream, but each time come in for that brush knee, which is close to the body. Other hand sweeping around that circle, sweeping around. The bear swirling the stream becomes the bear snatching the low jumping fish. The hand travels a little higher and then falls into the water. The other hand rises. And a little higher with that fish. Arm coming up around chest height, shoulder height, palm facing the direction that it's going so that it can then turn over and fall. And then the highest jumping fish over the top, over the top. Oh. Back down to the bear washing paws. So start that progression over and let it grow round by round. So small, and then a little bit more pronounced and exploring. Eventually it becomes the swirling of the stream. That arm is sweeping around, sweeping around. And then it becomes that low jumping fish. The hand is coming up a little bit, palm facing the direction it's going so that it can then turn over and get back in the water. Changing leg, turning waist. Changing leg, turning waist. Middle jumping fish, chest height or so. Higher jumping fish, sort of face, throat area. And that highest, you just let the arm travel up and over that circle, up and over. Now, come into your left leg, stay there. Right hand falls into the water. Float the left arm up, wing, roll, pull. So now this right foot is empty. Change the weight, turn, you got bottom hand doing that brush knee, top hand push. Then let them travel past each other, top hand roll, fold. Left hand stays to the right side of the body so that we've got room to travel across. Arms do the switch, shift and turn, brush, push. Hands do the switch, shift and turn, brush, push. A few more. Brush and push, extend, and they come around. So there's this washing, floating, sliding, rolling of all the joints. And we're headed back the other way. So we're really cultivating our middle by finding freedom to move the limbs freely in all these directions. We're trying to find that place in the mind and body, that connection where we're operating all the movement in a simple way. Now, stay to your left leg again. Right foot is slightly empty. Turn the toes out 5 or 10 degrees. Change the weight into your right leg so you're sort of sitting through that right leg. Right hand settles down. Left foot empty and put the toe out in front. Bend the left elbow and point the hand up towards the sky. So the arms look like this. And the feet, we've got an empty foot here. Now, see if you can get it so empty that you can empty the foot and pick the toe up off the floor. If this causes you to almost topple over, keep the foot on the floor, but think that that's where we're headed. If you can get that foot a little bit off the floor, you could be able to lift and lower. Lift, lower. Golden rooster stands on one leg. Now switch sides and let's do that same thing. So bring that left foot back, toes turned out a little bit. Change the weight. The left hand descends, right elbow bends, point fingers up of the right hand, and then touch the floor lightly with the toe. So again, you might be somewhere where you're like 80%, 20%, and you're building strength. So by picking the foot up, if you're doing that, best to try to get it more to 90-10 or 99-1. And then at that point, your foot can not be on the floor. And then you play with this rooster. Go back down, touch the floor, rooster. Golden rooster. One more. Now we're going to flow this. So bring that right foot down, toes turned slightly out. As you change the weight to the right leg, right hand is descending, left foot either touch the toe in front or lift. Bring the left foot down, toes turned slightly out. Change the weight, and with that right foot, either touch the floor or lift. foot down, change the weight, golden rooster. Now remember, Zhong Jung, we're going to do a few more of these. Zhong Jung, central upright. Chun One is that down through your standing leg, and then this is Qing Ling, light, nimble. Keep it light and nimble as you place it down, and then Chun One down through the right leg, Qing Ling, freedom, to lift. Bring it down, light and nimble, then change, sunk and stable through that left leg as that right leg lifts. One more of each. All right, now, feet somewhat parallel again, wash your paws. Changing weight, sweeping to the right. Changing weight, sweeping to the left. Now, change your weight, sweep to the right. Your left hand, sweep the lake, vapor, and becomes a cloud. Right hand is in the lake still. Now shift your weight to your left leg, turn, cloud, lake. Lake becomes vapor, cloud, rains, they change. Then shift, turn, cloud, lake, rain and vapor, cloud and lake, rain, vapor, cloud, lake, rain and vapor. We're going to add a challenge to this. So now you've come over to your left leg. Let's all be over here. As your rain vapor change is happening, bring this empty right foot in and back out. Then shift, turn, let that Chun One, that quality of sunk and stable, go through that right leg. As you're changing your hand, bring your Qing Ling, light and nimble left foot in, out. Then shift and turn. So now you're letting the left leg be that support stable leg. As you rain and vapor, right foot comes in, back out, shift and turn. As the hands change, bring the foot in, out, change. In, out, change. In, out, change. And back to middle. Both hands down. Now, take your left hand, bottom of a ball, shift to your right leg and turn slightly to the right. So you're winding up this way. Now this left hand is going to go forward away from the body and then fly up at a diagonal. Turn the palm out. It sweeps down like that crane wing. It sweeps across the lake and is at the bottom of a ball. Then it goes away from the body and up at a diagonal to this top corner. Turn the palm out, sweep it down. It's called flying diagonal. Sweep the leg, turn the body, and then shift, turn, flying diagonal. Try to have the palm facing up the whole way. Turn it out, sweep, cross, and then flying diagonal. Other hand, sweep across the lake, bottom of that ball. The hand goes away from the body and at an upward diagonal. Turn the palm out, sweeps like a wing, lake, bottom of ball, flying diagonal. Down. So make sure that right hand starts from down here, down here. So Jane, yeah, keep it down. Don't let it get all the way up here, because then that's like the previous move. This is a unique path of it's down here and it's going through that pathway. So again, that's for the brain, for the nervous system, to really track these subtleties of nuanced movement in these Tai Chi moves. There you go. Now, left hand under, right hand over. So look at the ball. We're at sort of a medium-sized, large ball. Now imagine two train tracks running parallel to the floor. So keep your palms facing this way and go along those train tracks all the way to full extension and then all the way back across. All the way and back across. Now those train tracks, make them at a diagonal so that we get the flying diagonal with the left hand, and the right hand is doing this opposing movement. It's like a down and away karate chop, and then back across. So we're in our ball. Now, this is called stroking wild horse's mane. Turn your left palm out, right palm up, embrace the moon. Left hand down, right hand up, over, we hold the ball. Then stroke wild horse's mane. Turn the palms. As you embrace moon, shift to the right leg, turn to the right. Then shift left, turn left, and stroke wild horse's mane. Remember what I said about what we're doing is cultivating our middle. So you're tracking all these orbiting parts around the middle as you're shifting, turning, rotating in space, spiraling. Gather. Stroke wild horse's mane. One more. Make the ball one more time. And then back to middle. Released and relaxed. Now right hand bottom, left hand top. Two train tracks parallel to the floor. Now make those train tracks diagonal. Stroking wild horse's mane. And tracking the nuance, tracking the connectedness. Now, stroke wild horse's mane, and then embrace the moon to reset. Right hand turn out, left hand turn up. Embrace. As you're embracing moon, shift left, turn left. Stroke wild horse's mane as you shift right, turn right. And then turn the palms. Rewind, shift left, turn left, and shift right, turn left, turn palms, rewind, gather, 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 and so there's a looseness, but we don't want to be sloppy. There's a precision and a coordination and a simultaneity, right? So what we're really looking for is slow motion gathering, networking brain and body. So there's not sort of a sloppy connection. There's this very attentive presence from brain through nervous system to every receptor site. And we're in a state of ease while doing it, in a state of relaxation while doing it. Now, final challenge, sweep left hand across the leg, turn right hand over top, gather on the right side, and then stroke wild horse's mane to your left. Now, stay to the left, sweep that right hand across the leg, left hand over top, gather on the left side, and gather on the right side. And express to the left. Store on the left side. Issuing to the right. One more of each. Gather, turn. Gather, winding up. And gather, wash your paws, back to the middle. And then our finishing movement, the sink chi wash organs. You rock a little bit back towards the heels, swing the arms out and open. Rock to the toes, wrap the arms out and around in front, palms face up, palms face up. Rock back, the elbows soften and sink as the hands naturally just fall right towards the mouth. Rock to the middle of your feet, hands settle to the middle, and then we do our Tai Chi squat. The butt goes back, sink, dangle. Back up to standing. Rock a little bit to the heels, opening, sweeping the arms out and around. Rock a little bit to the toes, reaching. Little bit to the heels, hands come into the mouth. Rock to the middle of the feet, hands settle to the middle. Tail back, sink through. And one more. Back, forward, back, middle, Tai Chi squat, butt, sink. Shogun, closing, wing, roll, gathering gesture, settle. Down to your navel, your middle. And then we seal the practice, place one hand right over the belly button, other hand over that hand. 5 breaths, do nothing. And the Taoist bow to finish. Grab one thumb with just a soft fist, and then fold that hand over that fist. You see this little yin yang looking symbol. So that's that harmonizing mudra, and a little bow just to close it. So thank you, everybody. Great job. Find your comfortable seat. If you have any quick questions, we can ask.